I'm Anurag, and glad to be back here in Rajkot. This story is about, I believe traveling makes me a better community builder. And bringing my passion and my work rolled together, I've been fortunate to travel to different parts of the world and experience the magic there and learn, get through those great experiences and encounters I had with people, various skills. It helps me in becoming a better community builder. So today, in next 15 minutes, hold your breath. I'm going to share amazing 5 stories with you from different parts of the world on community building and the lessons learned while traveling that eventually helps me and you can become a better community builder. I still remember it was the March of 2013, it's almost 6 years ago. I'm standing on the ship, almost half naked, cold breeze, Antarctic breezes are going on, and I've been asked to jump into the Southern Ocean, take a deep plunge into the ocean waters known as Antarctic polar plunge. Why would I do that? Do I look like that crazy person? Why would I do that, right? It's insane to even ask someone to do this. And I've been asked to do that. It's extremely cold. I'm scared, very scared to be there and take that plunge because it's extremely cold. And I don't know even how to swim in the ocean. Barely I could swim in the pools. So thinking of putting me out and jump and take that plunge in that cold Southern Ocean. I was really scared. Something out of my comfort zone, I would not want to do that. Scary. But at the same time, the another thought that comes into mind. Antarctica has been a dream you've been living. You wanted to be here. You wanted to experience it, witness it, absorb it, what it has to offer to you. And at the same time, you're telling your mind, finding all possible excuses and ways, how I can't do this polar plunge. No, this is not for me. Then I'm asking at the same time, why am I even here then? Wasn't I aware of it? So a lot of these thoughts coming and answering that within your mind. I hear the microphone, the loudspeaker on the ship announces that almost over 60% of my fellow expedition members have signed up to the polar plunge. And I'm like, what? They're going to do it and how? I can't do it. I want to also do it. The another sound comes from your conscience, let's do it. But then at the same time, you're like, no. Right? You still feel it. Those moments. Not for me. If I go and take that plunge, if I stay more than a few minutes, I could be either dead or someone has to really pull me out, otherwise I'll get hypothermia. So when they said it, they will tether me with a rope so that they can take us back. If we really get stuck, if we go further or go down, they can pull us back. And I'm like, okay, now I feel better. Maybe I can try. Maybe I can push myself out of my comfort zone. And can I really do it? Because I don't want to go back with this regret that I didn't do this. I was almost there, half naked, ready to take the plunge. What really stopped me? I think waiting for my turn for almost 2 hours, listening to that gave me a sense of comfort. Can I challenge myself? This is the fear I have within myself. So many people are doing it. I can also do it. That's where I'm like, let's get rid of this. Let's learn how to overcome this. What will gonna happen? I'm gonna make it. I decided to take that plunge. Literally, isn't it insane? And I did it. No regrets. When I came back, that's where I know the magic, what has happened to me. It was not just that plunge I did in that cold, sub-freezing polar waters below 0 degrees Celsius. It was not just that. It was that fear. It was that fear that is gone. I can do it. I can challenge myself to test my limits. can do it. That's where I learned this lesson. Even in the adversity, to survive in the adverse, cold, or extreme environments or conditions, you need to train your mind physically and mentally, strengthen it enough to make these decisions that can change the course. But I couldn't have done it if I wouldn't have trusted myself, but more than that, if there was that team not there to tell me that they can help me and save me if anything happens. That trust in the team helped me make this plunge happen, and even the entire journey to Antarctica has happened because I have trusted people. They have put their trust into me. That faith, that belief has helped me take that challenge and go out of my comfort zone and just jump over it. Then I was like, let's do it again. I loved it so much, I want to go back again. But thank God I was sane enough and didn't do that. I quickly ran up to the deck of the ship and sat in the hot water jacuzzi there. It's kind of a great relief, and telling the story, little brave story to my fellow plungers. You know how it feels like? That sense of achievement has come in. It's not about that plunge in the cold water, that sense of achievement that I could also do that. That broke all that fear within me. And I came much stronger out of this. I learned one of my first biggest lessons of community building there on the travel journey, trusting the people and moving myself out of my comfort zone, believing in myself. Those lessons came from that. And then you come and then on the ship you get this certificate that reads like this: on a mirror calm ocean, amongst snowy Antarctic peaks, towering glaciers, and a puzzled penguin audience, not like you, I, in my questionable sanity and near to nude, took the plunge into -0.5°C water in that beautiful setting of the Nico Harbor. That's where I took the plunge. I still remember it. It was snowing. It was beautiful. Magic. You experienced that magic. That's what Antarctica made me experience that. Beautiful and incredible magical experience I witnessed. I'm so glad I did that. This is just one story of me coming out of it and learning that lesson. But now over next 10 to 13 minutes, I will narrate stories of wonderful people I get to meet while these travels, and how I have learned the lessons on community building from them. So I will tie them up together by the end of this talk. Yeah? So as Jatin mentioned, right? So yeah, before I go there, just because I moved out of that comfort zone, I could see this, feel that pride, feel that sense of achievement. And he's the Robert Swan who helped me plant this dream in my head that I could make it happen. So always grateful for this journey. But what comes to your mind when you see this or hear about Pakistan, right? Oh, sometimes friendship, when we hear this word animosity, it could be music, it could be cricket, it could be something else, right? What do you hear? What comes to your mind? Right? All of this was the Wagah border, this was the bus in which we traveled for the first time, and then we said hello to after crossing the Wagah. On the other side of the Pakistan, hi, I'm Anurag and I'm Jatin. That's how we kind of introduced. But what one story I clearly remember when I hear about the word Pakistan, that's something I want to share. It was one fine evening. I was in the city of Lahore exploring market with my friends, Pakistani friends. I wanted to now go back to my place where I was staying to Lums, and my accompanying friends were not willing to let me go alone, travel back to Lums. And I was confident enough, though, because this was my second trip to Pakistan. But for the first time, it was a solo trip. But I was still confident that I can do it. I can go alone. They're like, no. As I found the auto rickshaw driver, I boarded the auto, and then my friends warned me. They're like, you're not gonna reveal your Indian identity to the auto rickshaw driver. They warned me that don't disclose don't reveal your Indian identity to them. You can easily fake it, right? You look like same, so you can easily fake it. Why do you have to reveal that? Right? It's all easy. But somehow, you know me and I know myself very well. We started talking. I was in auto driver, we were talking. He was a young man, 22-year-old. We started talking about life and family. And as usual, I got into it. I'm like, I spilled the beans. And I'm like, yes, I'm from India. I told all of that. And now, during that conversation is going on, we are sharing about our family and lives. And then, to my surprise, I was taken aback when he said, Bhaiya, my father, he said in Hindi, Mere Abbu Bharat ki jail mein 3 saal rahe hain. And then it was, my father has been a prisoner of war in one of the wars between India and Pakistan. He lived there for 3 years. And I was like, oh, kaun sa auto mil gaya mujhe aaj, right? He could sense that discomfort and fear on my head, to my surprise. And he instantly gave me a sense of comfort and relief. Don't worry. It was not your fault. He gave me a quick sense of comfort. It was not your fault. It's my responsibility to make sure you reach your destination safely. And I was like, what? Are you kidding? Playing with me? All these thoughts are going in my mind, right? That's what we have kind of seen or grew up, that conditioning of your mind that has always happened to you for a so-called country that has been known or labeled to you as an enemy country. All those thoughts going in the head. I'm like, why are you so positive? And you know what he said? He said something very, very powerful. Let me quote that gentleman. He said, what happened to my father is a thing of the past. Why should we as young people hold up negative emotions against each other? Such hostility will come in the way of a shared bright future that we can work together to shape. And I'm like, dude, what have you been thinking? What happened to your mind? Suddenly, that experience stayed with me for forever now. This defined the work I do in my region. These experiences, encounters, first-hand encounters with people on the ground. Not something I get to hear from media. Not I get to hear in the news or negative news or propaganda. Nothing. Just an on-ground, real conversation, a first-hand experience, a direct encounter with an auto rickshaw driver and how he treated me at 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. in the night and make sure I reach that destination safely. That's where I learned. All that what we hear is just what we hear. Not necessarily that could be the truth. We need to go out and talk to people, listen to them, open your hearts, understand them better. These experiences allowed me to better understand my people, the people I'm working in this region with. More than 1/5 of the world population lies in the region I work in. How will I help them if I don't even understand and know them? The conversations with them. So that experience was so powerful that allows me to help build communities in South Asia, in India, in Pakistan, and help the same way I do help my Indian colleagues and friends and community leaders. I do the same way to empower my friends across the border. I'll tell you something interesting. There's an inside joke in Pakistan that says that whenever I go there, so many people come to meet me from all over Pakistan. They're like, oh God, Anurag Maloo has more friends in Pakistan than even Pakistanis have. And I'm like, okay, I should take this as a compliment. So that's been a great story and learning from the people on the ground and just through these conversations. Let me take a breath. Before I move, there are many, many such stories that I could share. But let me take you to this beautiful country I recently visited again. Any guesses? Any guesses? Isn't it beautiful? Yeah? So this is beautiful Kabul, the capital city of Afghanistan. I was there for good 7-8 days very recently, just a few weeks ago in December, and ended my end of 2018 on Christmas Eve with the friends and community there. Let me tell you some stories around how we are breaking prejudices, bias and stereotypes, how travel has been an important part of doing that. We always hear this word when we think about Afghanistan, right? It could be war, terrorism, all of that, blast, explosions, all of this we get to hear. But do we get to hear and know this? Have you heard about them? Anyone knows them? Anyone knows here? This is the first all-women, all-girls Afghan robotics team, led by a very dear friend, CEO Roya Mehboob, one of the first women CEOs of Afghanistan. And this team is led by 14-year-old Fatima Jan, the youngest member of this team. Robotics team. You must have heard in the news, they've been denied visa to US to participate in a robotics competition. They didn't give up. They come from Herat, much further from Kabul towards the Iran side. Their visas have been denied. They can't go. They didn't give up. Such resilient people didn't give up. Continued to work. US President Trump has to intervene, and he granted them the visa instantly then. They traveled back. They won the competition. Since then, 1.5 years, they're winning so many competitions across the world, sharing this story of what Afghanistan also represents, how the young women and girls have been empowered there, building robots for future. And this is the Afghanistan these people are making for the future, for themselves and for the generations to come. I was honored and privileged to meet them in person, listen to their dreams and hopes and aspirations. They're not very different from all of you sitting here. Fatima Jan wants to become a software engineer. Lida Jan and Sumaya Jan wants to become a mechanical engineer. They have the same dreams as many of you young women and men here have here, right? They also want to be part of this future that is more peaceful, more stable. Very similar stories. Their challenges could be so different, but still remains the same. Same dreams, hopes, and aspirations. This gives us hope. How, when we hear just in media one side of the story, there is the another side of the story, the positive side of the stories I'm trying to bring here and help you break your prejudices and biases and stereotypes you may have towards an Afghanistan. How do you feel? Still absorbing? So a very, very inspiring team. Read about them. You will get more courage to do more incredible things. Another beautiful thing which I saw that there was every evening, they go through so many hardship and challenges, but every evening they come together, they sit together, they have their meals together, have chai sessions together, sings, dance together. That's how we live hardships. That's how we go on and still live the life. There is a much large life to live and move on. Very inspiring for me to learn about this. Another thing that helps me in building communities is connecting with the strangers. I didn't knew 3 years ago these strange young Afghan men here, sitting here, they participated in the first startup week in Kabul we did there. They pitched their ideas individually. They formed the teams there. They worked on building their startup. They got inspired so much with their great experience. Now today they are shaping the future of building startup and entrepreneurship ecosystem in Afghanistan. Today they lead the Startup Week in Afghanistan community there and helping inspire more people to build their enterprises and businesses in Afghanistan. Very inspiring. With these strangers 3 years ago, today I say, I have family there. I find myself a home in Afghanistan with these people. These strangers, so-called always quoted strangers today, are part of this family. Who hosts me, it's me, I host them, we travel. And that is the beauty of just knowing the stories of the people and connecting with these strangers. They are the friends in making. That's how I always say. Any stranger you meet, they are the friends in making. Today you see how embraced I am in that culture. Now they feel connected. It's so localized. You find yourself within them. Very simply. For them, it's so difficult to trust external people because of what they have been seeing and grew up with. Today, they trust it. They trust me. They trust the work we do in the region. Beautiful. Another beautiful story of this ancient Silk Route city of Bukhara in Uzbekistan. I was walking across there, and I saw this hostel named as the Rumi Hostel. And my love for Rumi obviously creates a bias that I want to go and stay there. Who doesn't love Rumi? And I'm like, I want to go and stay there. I go there. That's where I met my first time Uzbek mom and their family. They took care of me so well. Being a vegetarian, surviving in these stranger stans, all these stan countries, is not that easy. She took care of me just so well, like any other family member she will take care of. Every morning starts with hugs from her, receiving warm hugs and smiles, kisses, and embracing me as part of their family and taking care of me. That was the kind of love, unconditional love I have received from these strangers. Today I call them family. So many of these things have become an important part of the lessons. It helps me build the communities in this region. Because community building is about the people, the relationships you build with them. And that's what I get to experience. And one of the last final stories is this beautiful story of these strangers I met or got introduced through different strangers over a period of time, whom I got them together from different walks of life, coming from entrepreneurial background to government, to coming from INGO, from a corporate, from a freelancer, from a tech entrepreneur. Got all these strangers together and help them find a common ground to build the community, help them find that the role they can play in shaping the Maldives' tech future and startup community in Maldives. And today, these people have formed their own team, find their co-founders within each other, and launched Spark Hub that takes care of now building innovation and startup ecosystem in Maldives. All these people were strangers to me at once because they've been introduced by strangers. Again, today, I find a common ground, a home with them, with that common understanding and a ground that brings them together, that the role they can play to empower young Maldivians to build tech businesses for Maldives. I think that's what we've seen. With that, I think just want to tell you, all these travels are not just about the places, it's about the people. Similarly, all the communities are also about the people we meet. That are the soul of every community, or that brings a soul to all the stories I have shared, the people. So it's really, really about the people. This was the recent community, women community we have built in Bhutan. And with that, just want to reiterate that how traveling, the lessons you learn, the stories and the experiences you encounter, every day helps you becoming a better community builder. And it's been over 6 years of my journey getting involved in building communities and working with Techstars and Startup Weekend for more than 5 years in Indian subcontinent, helping build this startup ecosystem. Beyond Indian subcontinent, in other South Asian countries like, as you see, in Pakistan, Bangladesh, in the Himalayan kingdoms of Bhutan and Nepal, and the island nations of Maldives and Sri Lanka, and the conflict or terrorism-stricken regions in Afghanistan, Pakistan to Kashmir, and across the ancient Silk Route cities, countries of Central Asia, all the stranger stans we get to talk about. So with that, I take a pause. Thank you so much for listening to these stories, and I hope you will be better able to build your communities now.